here.
This is Houston. Say again, please.
Houston, we've had a problem. We've had a main beam undervolt.
Roger, main B undervolt. Okay, stand by, 13. We're looking at it.
You got a fetish for my love. I push you out and you come right back. Don't see a point in blaming.
Alright, welcome guys to this special pre-recorded video on Simply Rocco, Simply Rocco Philippines, and on Rumble.com, Simply Rocco 911. Please guys, subscribe to those channels. Check me out on Rumble. Check me out on YouTube. Please support the channels. So today we're going to talk about, of course, why are men now dating overseas? And what's causing the phenomenon also known as passport bros? We're going to be watching a video from Al of Asia. He just came out with this video within the last day or so. Please subscribe to his channel. I'm going to tag him. He brings up a lot of good points. I bring up my own points as well throughout this video. So please check it out. And let's go right now to the video and let's start this up. Alright guys, let's get this started.
If I said to you, 50% of marriages in the US end up in divorce, would you be surprised? Could this startling statistic be the driving force behind the growing trend of American men who are going overseas to find a girlfriend or wife? Well, first of all, let's get a few points clear. This trend isn't exclusive to American men. In fact, men from various corners of the world, the UK, Canada, and beyond, are expanding their horizons. In the last 24 months alone, there's been a surge in international dating interest, particularly in countries such as Vietnam, the Philippines, and so on. But what makes Southeast Asia so special, and why now? Today, we will swap our boots for flip-flops and embark on a journey to see why men are dating overseas, the risks men face, and why so many guys are now telling you to date in Asia.
Including myself.
Although our life experiences are significantly different, we find ourselves traveling down the same road. So what shared experiences could possibly have set us on this shared course? Society is a complex topic, and unfortunately, society in the Western world has gone too far. This week, I spent several days searching through social media on this topic, and if I was to summarize how men feel in one sentence, it would be this: men have had enough. Enough of being blamed for everything, and enough of being a walking bank account. Society treats women very differently from men. In 2018, a report from Pew Research Center indicates that only 17...
Hold on a second. Oh, man. So what I have to say about that, honestly, I've seen an interview with Pearly Things, where she was out in the street in the UK and she interviewed a couple women, 2 women that were together, and they were claiming that just men are out to R blank PE them all the time, which was ridiculous because number 1, they weren't attractive. Number 2, they were overweight. And number 3, most men aren't looking to do that. Okay? This is just some sort of mentality thing that's been put into their heads that all men want to do this. That's all men want to do, which is ridiculous. They complaining and screaming, I can't even come out at the club at night and walk late at night. Then don't go out late at night to the club. To be a 3 or 4 in the UK or anywhere else. How about that? All right, let's continue.
0.5% of single parents with custody rights were men. Many studies have concluded that childcare costs after a divorce fall more heavily on men. And this isn't
true.
Taking into account the countless societal norms and expectations of men in the Western world. From a logical point of view, putting aside our thoughts and experiences, Western society makes dating as a single man an undesirable choice.
Okay.
I was keen
Beyond
on getting a
undesirable. You just
pulse
don't
on
even
what
deal with
gentlemen
it.
from the West, particularly those past the age of 45, thought about this whole situation. So I decided to message my email subscribers to see if any of them fancied a chat. One of the responses came from Jonathan. Hello? Now, Jonathan is a 48-year-old guy who's been around the block a few times in Chicago, but now lives in the Philippines. But just to give you a heads up, I'll be using an AI voice to represent Jonathan. To be honest, it's a bit of a challenge to get folks on the channel to discuss this topic unless you catch them off guard, such as a street interview.
I'll
But
talk
hey,
to them.
Let's
I'll
take a
talk to you,
listen.
man.
Okay, here goes.
I'm up
I'm
for
sharing
it.
life with my Filipino wife in the Philippines. It feels as though I've managed to escape the Matrix.
There you go.
Reflecting on my days back in America, it seems to me that the dating scene was governed by restrictive norms. It felt like an unfair game, with 90% of the women setting their sights on the top 10% of men. This left most men either sidelined or trying to get with potential partners they found less than desirable. Please.
The 666. 6 figures, 6 foot tall. Oh, and more than 6 inches. Average length is about 6 inches. Average income yearly, that is actually between 45K and 55K for the average male here in the United States. For men to be over 6 figures, 100,000 or more, you're talking about 5 to 10% of the population, male population. That's a real slim chance of you finding somebody, baby. So, yeah, this is their first problem right there. They're trying to find something that they're not equal to. They're usually close to their late 20s, early 30s, and they've already been around the block. They've had their back blown God knows how many times by Chad, Ray, Tyrone, Pookie, whatever. Yeah, and those kind of guys are not looking at you. So they're actually looking at the younger, more feminine, more beautiful, girls that don't have all that experience. So let's continue, and let's see what else that he's got to say.
Please understand, I bear no grudge against women. Quite the contrary. Some of the most cherished years of my life were spent in the company of an extraordinary woman back home. We were inseparable for over a decade, but when that relationship fell apart, I saw how toxic dating is now in America. To be honest, women now are different from what they were. I know this might sound strange and the younger guys won't
Absolutely.
get it, but it's the truth. Most women now look to replace instead of repairing what's broken.
So that is what Jonathan had to say. But what about other points of view? Well, there is a question that popped up this week, and it asked, why do many American men prefer foreign women to be their wives? And
I'm going to actually answer that before he goes into it. Family. They want to have a family. They want that family unit. They want to have kids. They don't want to be, some of them don't want to work. That's fine. They want to be a stay-at-home wife. They want to have that family unit. They want to be with someone that's going to be able to provide for them. I totally get that. There are options. There's plenty of options. There are plenty of women that don't want to be married. So some women do want to be married. They want to have kids. It all depends. Now, there are those women out there in the Philippines and Vietnam. They may already be single mother or something like that. Normally, under normal circumstances, I wouldn't even suggest getting together with already a single mother, because we'll go through all those reasons in another video. But you don't want to put yourself in that situation, number one. But we'll continue what he's got to say here, because I already see one part. Filipinos have an extreme sense of family. They want that family togetherness, that unit. They want the nuclear family, and they want their kids to grow up in that mindset. So let's continue.
this is the number one answer with over 1,400 upvotes.
Simply put, the Western world has lost its way. The most important aspect of any society is the family unit. If the family unit falls apart and the family values are lost, the very fabric of society is inching to tear apart at the seam. Forget the economy, forget identity politics, forget the right and the left, forget education, equality, racism, and all that other stuff. If the family nucleus is gone, the rest of it all will soon fall apart. Canada has a divorce rate of over 60%. I don't blame women for this. I just blame our culture. I have no desire to become an uncle to my kids, the guy who sees them on the weekends. Why should anyone accept being reduced to visiting his own children? Western-style socialism, divorce laws, the welfare state, political correctness, and feminism have all contributed to destroying the fabric of the family unit here.
Yeah, actually, the courts, child support, the family court system, it's all about making money. To get the alimony through, to get all the child support through the courts, through the state. The state gets all that put through. It goes through the state. They get their fees out of the child support. Attorneys want divorce cases to go on, so they can actually bill you more money. They don't want it to be quick. They want it to be more and more and more. If you don't have the money, they don't want to waste their time with you, even if you have a retainer. I know that is a fact. I've been through it.
But Filipinas have an extreme sense of family. They would do anything for their family, and that's exactly what I want. It does come at a cost because my revenue has to not only help us, but help her parents and siblings as well. But I must respect that and take the good with the bad. The other reason is financial. I certainly appreciate that women want a man who can provide for them. It's not selfish or shallow. It's just common sense. They should seek...
It's common sense, and all those angry, bitter women, these twats that complain, they're just going out for your money. They just want your money. Sweetheart, isn't that what you've been bitching about on TikTok and all your little talk shows? Saying, oh, this man has to be over 100,000 or 500,000, $1 million. I mean, take a look at these TikTok videos. Take a look at these interviews that these women do. Check out It's Complicated. You'll see how the modern woman really thinks, and it's all so damn delusional. You can't even ponder. I can't even ponder how the hell they can even think this when they know in the back of their head that most men don't make this money, that kind of money. It's impossible, especially in this economy. Forget it.
Out a man who can offer them a roof and food for them and for their children. There is nothing wrong with that. But I am a construction contractor. I don't make all that much money, and at 50, I find myself too old to take on a mortgage and save for my children's education. However, I can offer a premium, very desirable life to a Filipina. I can buy a decent house in the Philippines without having to borrow. In fact, I borrowed only $2,000 from my dad to pay for our home upfront. Every steak, every plate of Italian food is a true luxury in the Philippines. So I prefer to give steak to my family and be appreciated for it rather than them expecting it as a given. In Canada, I'm a bum. In the Philippines, I'm an upper middle class man. Why should I willingly choose to remain a bum?
Wow.
Yeah, and that goes to say, go where you're treated best, number one. Your dollar, your Western money goes a lot further than it would here in the States or in Canada where he's from. Second time I went to the Philippines, I took my fiance to TGIF for the first time, TGI Fridays. Spent $35 for dinner for the both of us. $35. Usually TGI Fridays, you're easily going to spend about $85 just for two people. So yeah, that goes to say, you know, how far your money's going to go. Rents are a lot lower. You're looking at maybe for a decent apartment, $80 to $150 a month in the province or a certain part of a city like in Manila or Cebu City maybe. If you want to go for the luxury condos, anywhere between, I say, $400 to $850, depending on where you go, where you got to look around, you got to do research, obviously. But yeah, your money goes a lot further. Why would you want to stay here? If you have the opportunity to go, fucking go, man. Just go.
So do you agree with Jonathan and this other commenter? After all, some people may be watching this and completely disagree and would argue and say that women in the US or the UK are no different than women in Asia. So is the grass greener on the other side, or is this just a big myth?
They are different.
Comparing the culture is not an easy task. Unlike other topics, there is little data to examine the subject. But what we do have is men from all over the world sharing their experiences of dating in Asia. You got to take a look at this.
Family. In other words, you want to have children. Filipinas are a great choice.
Dr. Laue, this man is a great source for expats. Okay, he has a YouTube channel. He has a lot of videos that he does update them from time to time. Updates any information that he gives out, and he tries to give as much information as possible to expats, so they know what to expect when they come to the Philippines, what to look for, how to get around. He's just one of many decent channels. Trust me, this is somebody you definitely want to follow and subscribe to on YouTube. If you're looking for information, if you want to become an expat, go to the Philippines or other parts in Southeast Asia. He's got a lot of information. Definitely want to follow him.
Because unlike in the West, where a lot of times in the United States, the women want to choose between their career or their family, or they want to put off having a family until much later, that's not really the case in the Philippines. I mean, sure, you're going to find some that just don't want to, or they do want to put it off, but for the most part, most of them are going to be very, very open to having a family. That's the reason they want to get married to begin with. Exactly. I've rarely met any Filipina who was not interested in getting married and having her own children.
As a single guy traveling through Asia, I feel as if I have a fiduciary obligation to share the dating experiences or the interpersonal interaction from a single guy's perspective. And that's something that's definitely different here on this side of the world. There are a lot of guys who are living as I was years ago, unhappy with with their outcomes, and moving to the Asia Pacific region has been the best decision of my life, even though I don't date a lot, compared to other people, and I tend to be a recluse. But
Filipino women are the best. They make the best
I gotta
wives.
look up his channel. It's the first time I see
the finest women on the planet, if not the finest. I wish I would have knew that when I was much younger. Hopefully this little bit of wisdom will help somebody else.
Now,
and I gotta say, for those who are watching, I do have some Filipino followers, a lot of Filipino followers actually on Facebook. I just want to say that what I believe in it's not just about the women. It's not about women. It's not about, oh, Filipinos are hot, this and that. For me personally, it's about finding peace. For me personally, I adore the Filipino culture. I love it. I have friends in the Philippines that I've met through Facebook, through streaming, through game streaming, and those people are amazing. Some of those people have actually bought me lunch when I got there and stuff like that. Things that, you just realize that there's a different mindset just being there. I appreciate the culture. I appreciate what's there. I appreciate how they are with me, because you find there's a sense of brotherhood between the guys that you meet there as friends, and for me personally, my fiance that lives out there, she's somebody I truly love. She's one of a kind, and I even had somebody call her a jackpot one time. So yeah, I really gotta say, it's not just about the women. It's not like that for me. For some guys, honestly, yes, it is. And for some passport bros, that's all they want. That's all they want to do. I mean, everybody's an adult. They do what they want to do. I do have problems with older men who do have this thing of going there just for to pay for a certain thing, if you know what I mean, or guys that go there and leave the girls pregnant and never come back and never contact them again. That's something that's horrible. That shouldn't happen. Unfortunately, it does happen. It does happen here too, but a lot over there too. That's not something I stand for, and that's not something that should be happening. But honestly, the Philippines, I don't know if it can get any better than there.
It's likely no surprise that many women disagree with this whole idea.
TikTok.
I know. I was shocked too. Over the years, many women have posted on YouTube and TikTok about how messed up men are for going abroad to find a girlfriend. They tell you that you as a man are lazy, broke, and pathetic for dating abroad. And guess what? Some even criticize Asian women by saying they are uneducated and just dating a white guy because they need to escape poverty. Is this?
Okay. That scene that you saw there, yeah, you do see girls like this. I have seen this myself. I've seen it plenty of times when I was there in Cebu. It's unfortunate. Yeah, there is poverty there. But there also is a lot of rich areas. There's also a lot of women that are working. They are educated. And we'll get to that in a second. As a matter of fact, for some of the most basic retail jobs, you have to have a college education, or at least a year or two of college. Like, seriously, to work in a retail cashier job, they require college education. No shit. Look for it, and I'm going to tell you.
Dating a white guy because they need to escape poverty. Is this really the reality? Or do women only have themselves to blame? Well, these are what some of the ladies are saying.
Honestly, the amount of white dudes with Thai women that are waiting to board international flights, it's an absurdity. It is crazy. Like, half of the couples in this airport right now are beautiful Thai women with super basic white dudes.
I don't know.
So what's the problem? What's the problem? Who cares? They want to go out and be happy. They're happier with Thai women versus the plain Jane going on TikTok and complaining, oh my God, look at how many white guys I see here. Like, why? Why would you want to do that? Rest in peace Kevin Samuels, one of the 4 things that show a low value woman is insulting. Another one is shaming. You know, white guys are here. You know, it's just disgusting. It's disgusting what she's doing there. Why would you go and talk about people and try to shame guys for wanting to be happy? Who cares? You know why? Because they don't want you. That's why.
I know what a passport bro was until one of my recent
God.
videos did well. Who's going to tell him?
Here we go.
Who is going to tell these men that American women are some of the last demographics of women to catch up with what we're talking about right now? You think Russian women are going to put up with your shit?
Well, first of all, nobody's going to Russia, especially nowadays. Number one, can't deal with anything in Russia.
Think Asian women are going to go 50-50 with you on the bill?
Asian women aren't looking to go 50-50. They're looking to find a husband, just like guys going over there are looking to find a wife or find a nice girlfriend, find somebody who's feminine and delicate.
I want something feminine and delicate.
And someone who wants to spend the rest of their life with them, or, you know, just to be with a decent companion. Not somebody like this weirdo.
You think French women are going to sleep with you just because you showed up?
Nobody's going to France, bitch. Nobody's going to France to find this. France is part of the problem. France, the UK, the United States, they're all wrapped up in that modern feminist bullshit. All these ladies going on TikTok, blowing smoke each other's ass. Bullshit. Nobody's going to France. If guys go to France, it's just to hang out, whatever, a week. Not to find a woman, that's for sure. No way. And look at these eyes. What's wrong with this woman? Look at these eyes. Like, no, fuck off.
Oh.
After watching those videos,
what?
I came across this interesting article.
Like you're
the
actually
article
saying something.
discusses the trend of American men seeking foreign brides through international dating services. The article questions the motives of men in these situations, suggesting they might prefer women who are more submissive and easily exploited. It also addresses the ethical issues
Submissive,
tied
yes.
to the business
Exploited,
model
no.
of these services, likening it to modern-day
And if
slavery,
guys are looking for
where
to
women
exploit,
trade
then
their
they're
beauty
scumbags.
for economic stability. Comments range from this lady who said,
Men bring these problems on themselves by not wanting a relationship with an equal who lives in the 21st century. Screw making men happy. People need to make themselves happy, not rely on others for that.
And there are
Okay, so people need to make themselves happy. That's what we're doing. We're leaving. We're going on a plane to find our happiness.
This is the way. Comments like this one. Now for context, this is in relation to a certain part of the article which said, if you can't find an American bride, perhaps the problem is not the 40 million women.
No,
Maybe the problem is you.
It is.
Well, there's a logic to this statement. That same study showed that 61% of single men were actively looking for a relationship, while only 38% of single women were. Given those statistics, the women have the most choice and can't find someone they consider a good partner. Using the same logic you applied there, they are the ones with the problem.
From speaking to viewers of this channel and expats over the years, many feel that back home women are selfish and entitled. So because of this, they travel to Asia and meet...
Look at this. Look at this. Exactly. This face. This is why we're leaving. This is why we're going on a plane. This is ridiculousness in the flesh. Reminds me of my ex-wife.
Asian women who are beautiful, intelligent, and caring. There is literally no competition. whatever side of the fence you sit on, the question is, where is all this leading? We have already seen big changes in society over the years. There are a lot of people out there who say that men are becoming more like women and women are becoming more like men. There is even a conspiracy theory that there is a plot to make modern men weaker, and some research has suggested testosterone levels in the general population have been declining year after year. But regarding overseas dating, if men continue to move to Asia and trends in society continue, what will be the impact of this? Well,
okay. First of all, it's not a conspiracy theory. Not at all. Look around you. Look at all the dudes. Adam 22. The absolute biggest.
Simp!
The biggest simp. How this guy could let his wife do a scene with another man and praise about it all over the place. For the last month, that's all I've heard about this guy, just talking about it. And he just made himself the biggest piece of shit out there. I guarantee you within a year or so, his marriage is over. His wife is going to be like getting tired of him, because now she had a taste of the black meat, you know?
1, 2.
Yeah, that's right.
That's it.
That's what he had a taste of.
That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
You looking
with your
at
arms
him?
now?
There you go.
That's it.
That's it.
That's it. Move.
That's it. That's it, Adam. There you go. But let's continue, guys.
There are a few potential outcomes. Asia may move in the direction of the U.S., and the U.S. may move in the direction of Asia.
Not a
This
chance.
means that dating becomes more difficult in Asia as more Westerners move overseas, and at the same time, dating in the Western world becomes less challenging, but many don't see this happening. Revaluation of needs. So what could potentially happen is both men and women in society reevaluate what they can contribute and reevaluate their expectations. But unless dating becomes impossible, this again seems unlikely. Judgments and divide. The more likely situation is that there will be more pressure and social norms will be placed on men. Men will be judged negatively for dating in Asia by local women as they continue to believe men are only dating abroad because of money, power, or some other dynamic. But
that's already happening now. Honestly, yeah, Passport Bros get some flack from locals. I've seen that also. I've heard from a couple of Asians. DM me and call me a misogynist and racist and all that shit, and sexist and all that. But it's a reality that and I'm not any of those things. I've been accused of plenty of times, but this is reality. Men just want to be happy. Asian women, especially Filipinas, they want to be happy, and they go and get together. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It's just like everything else in life. But they get criticized for wanting to be happy, and they get criticized for leaving. They're called broke. It takes money to go to the Philippines. It could go the range of a flight anywhere between $850 to $1,300. Depending on what airline, when you go during the year, so forth, and all that stuff. You got to do your research on that too. Let's continue.
Having said this, after looking through the trends and data, more Western women may return to family values. In reflection, it's no big deal who you like or who you date. There are a lot of Western women who date Asian men,
go back.
and nobody blinks an eye. But when men date in Asia, questions and assumptions are made.
Of
I
course.
always try and put together my videos in a way that shows facts, insight, and even the other side of the coin from people who disagree. But even if we look at the fundamentals of this topic, anyone can see for men at this current time, Asia is the much better option. But to clear up a few points,
It definitely
most
is.
Western women don't have any problems with this topic. The ones who kick off tend to be the ones who are single and ironically give the most dating advice. If a man sees a woman as only a body, he has gone too far. But similarly, if a woman sees a man as only a wallet, she has gone too far. Everything is on the same scale, just at a different degree. The reality is that there are pros and cons to dating in Asia just as much as dating in the Western world. But as a man, you have a lot more going for you and a much brighter future in Southeast Asia. Let me summarize it like this in Asia. If you lose a little. If you gain a lot. In the West, if you lose a lot, and if you gain a little. Take a look at this video where we dive into this topic in a whole new light. Until next time, stay strong, and I will see you in the next one.
So, yeah, that's actually so true what he said at the end there. And to be honest, what he said at the end is 100% true. You know, your dollar just doesn't go anywhere here in the States, not anymore. And for you to do that, you got to be super rich, and it just doesn't happen to the normal guy anymore. It's just impossible. So, honestly, men, get your passports, go out there, find your happiness, find your peace. Don't even worry about finding a woman. Just go out in the world, travel. Go to Vietnam, go to Indonesia, go to Cambodia, go to the Philippines. The Philippines honestly is my favorite, honestly, because the language, English is basically the second language there. A majority of people speak it. So yeah, men, get your passports. Don't deal with these women here. Don't even put yourself through that ridiculousness. And remember, don't be
Sam.
There you go. Don't be one of those guys. Till next time. Till the next video, which will be coming soon, guys. I'll talk to you later.